Good morning. So this is Nita with the Timepiece Garden and Miss Panda, Mama's helper. We're out here by the hoops. Oh, good Lord. So I went and did research, and all of my deer fencing, like I have around my primary garden, is on back order. Even a gate is on back order, which really sucks. Because what that means is I'm not going to be able to gate up the gourds until they get off of back order. So while I've got baby leaves coming up here, everything is just going to get ate again. So yeah, there's nothing I can do at this moment in time. I won't lie, I know I stuck them out here because of all the stuff going on in the world. I wanted only food inside the gate. And the gourds aren't people food. They were just going to be a fancy thing, kind of, make a couple bird houses out of a birdhouse gourd, and a vegetable basket for the garden out of the basket gourds. I mean, it was whimsical. So I'm not mad, but I'm not happy either, because they were doing well, and I thought the arches were going to look pretty, when they were fully covered in leaves and gourds and stuff hanging down from the inside. But it's okay. There's always next year. So anyway, I'm back here because I also have wood stuff back here that I was going to cut for kindling. And there's some firewood pieces back here. And I just hadn't gotten to it yet. And my kindling rack over near the house that I use for the burn pit stuff, it's full. So I just, it's here. I'll get to it. And while I was back here, yeah, you kind of see that mass in the middle of the, that's a mushroom. It's huge. So I'm gonna brave the tall grass and take some pictures, and I've got a website to the Arkansas Mushroom Association that you can post pictures on, and they'll tell you what kind of mushroom it is. So, because that's a large mushroom. When you zoomed out and you've got this big white patch in the middle of this tall green grass, that's a huge mushroom. Yeah, so I'll be finding out what that is. And then lastly, I came over to get some sticks. My Delilahs are so heavy in the main garden that they're all falling over. So I was going to take some of the kindling sticks. Yeah, I'm cheap. And just kind of bind them together, make like little teepee tripods or quad pods. And that way I can string up the Delilahs. They'll have some support. These sticks are plenty long enough that it shouldn't be an issue with wind, especially if I've got like 4 or 5 in each little teepee stand. So that's what I came over here for, was to collect sticks. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I'll see you in a few minutes. Alrighty, so get a couple things together. I've got 5 sticks roughly the same length. And my spool, this is just I got this in Japan and it's awesome. Yeah, it's just a spool of twine-like stuff. It's a spool holder, which is awesome. It's also got a little razor blade there, so you pull out what you need and you cut it. I love this. I don't have to worry about carrying scissors and my balls rolling anywhere. It's awesome. Panda, no, baby, stop. Come on, get your stick. These are mommy's sticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the tops together, kind of like a teepee, a little figure 8 thing, and then I'll spread them out. And this is going to be 5 poles, is what I decided to go with. So give me a few and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I take my string and I tie it off to one. And then I'm going to kind of wrap it in and around the other ones. Just so they're, they're all together. All right, I'm going to need both hands for this, so y'all just going to have to see the finished product. Talk to you in a few. All right, so not the prettiest thing. It's the basics of it. 5 legs, little teepee stand. I'll be able to attach the Delilahs to it, so when it'll support them, because they've gotten large. Trim off the top so it looks a little prettier in the Delilahs. But that's the basics. It's just a little teepee stand out of sticks that I got here on the property. So give me a few minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like in the garden. So there's the basics of it. Teepee's up and in place. My Delilahs there are attached with some veggie wire, basically. That's gonna hurt them. And you can see I'm just full. And now it looks like the Delilahs are pointing to the ground, and it's just because they were already starting to lay down because they were just too heavy. So they should upright themselves after a day or two in the sun, and then all the blooms, instead of tilting down, will go up. You can see that one's facing down. There's another bud there, but they'll go up, and I'll be able to, use it like a trellis. I'm gonna cut some of these crazy sticks off the top. But yeah, it'll allow them to bloom better, be more visible, and not lay on the other Delilahs. So anyway, let me get back to work because I've got another set down there to do. All right, see you in a few. All right, I'm all done for today anyway. So there's one teepee. There's another, and then there's two down there. We're going to start up here. This one here at about 11 o'clock, which would be about now. The sun comes past that tree. We happen to be on a cloudy day today, or a partly cloudy day. And it's 11 o'clock, and this one is in the sun. I mean, it's direct hot sunlight, the hottest part of the day. At about 5 o'clock, that oak tree will start shading this area. And these guys tend to droop more than anybody else, to include the leaves, because they're hot. It's not because they don't get water. They get plenty of water. I water so much. There you go. I'm looking for them. In several places, I've got mushrooms growing. Just because they get a lot of water. So what I did is I've got some extra shelf liner. Oops. There you go. Sorry about that. I got some extra shelf liner here. And you can see it's not, I'm kind of zoomed in. It's not solid, but it's not straight sunlight. It'll let rain through. It will let some sunlight through, but it will shade it. So even though it's a cloudy day, you can kind of see the left to the right side. The left side's a little more sunny. The right side, it actually looks a little shady. What I'm hoping is this will just give it that appearance of dappled shade, and they won't droop so bad. If it works, I've got some extra liners. I'm probably going to have to give these guys their own little shade cloth too, because you figure we're just in the beginning of July, and the sun is it's hot. Just hot. Now, as we walk down through my garden, by the time we get down here, does that make sense? We're still in tree shade. This area is in tree shade till about 2-3 o'clock. Again, if you look, there's so much shade, and I water them. I've got mushrooms growing. There's some there. There's some over here on the outer edge. So I don't think this section needs me to give it any more shade than it already has. Just the teepee. Tie up the Delilahs so you can actually see that, I've got blooms. I've got some very pretty Delilahs growing. They're just, kind of like that middle one there, because they're laid down so much, or have laid down so much because they're so heavy. They've started to rot, or a couple of them have. Not all of them. So get them tied up. That's what the teepees are for. Get them growing up the teepees, and that way I can see my blooms. It's one of my glads in bloom. Now this one I did 2 teepees. Yeah, that way again you can see the Delilah. Isn't that a gorgeous flower? Couldn't see it before because it was hiding. Having said that, though, it allows the Delilahs to be tall. You can now see these guys are blooming. And then the last row down there is the echinacea, which is not blooming yet. It's 3 tiers. So the teepees will work well here. I'm going to let the little stick stay on top of this one, see if maybe the hummingbirds would like to rest on it. They may not, If they don't, I'll end up cutting it back like that one, so it looks a little neater. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Done. I'm tired. It's hot. It's humid. my cloudy skies. They're saying that, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm supposed to have a thunderstorm. It's humid enough for it. Yeah, everybody here will love the water, to include the mushrooms. All right, having said that, y'all have an awesome day, and I will talk to you later.